can't say. I can say I love light and healing all my relations at home. I'm just doing a quick check-in here, to let people know exactly what goes on sometimes when I'm helping people spiritually. So when I am working with people and I'm in an environment with them, and I will pick up on their energy, I can tell when there's binds, voodoo binds on there, and it will start tugging on my big toes. Okay, it's notorious. If I'm in your aura, your energy field, just few feet, um, and I will start feeling a tugging on my toe. I don't have binds. I cut my binds every day. Once I learned to cut that shit with frequencies and such, an energy cord pulling, and you have to call back your energies, frequencies, three separate frequencies. And but if I'm in your aura and really powerful, and you become one of my friends, or just we live in the same area, like in my housing here, when you're near me and our energy auras are, we're walking past each other, or it's overlapping, and then I'll start feeling the tug, and I'm like, oh fuck. Now a lot of homies here are in heavy shit, heavy hard drugs, and they it's a some of them are much more stronger binds to the drugs, and these drugs, heroin, meth, and alcohol, these are attached to high level demons because they're on the negative toxic side of what the original plant is. All plants, so all hard drugs come from a plant, and it's plant medicine, and it's a plant. It's neither good nor bad. It depends on how it's used, and it's a spirit guide. All plants, in this case, for there's poppy, opium, interesting, energy, homies leaving, um, amongst other things. It's the only one I'm going to use right now. It's just energy. Right now I can feel two pulling of my toes right now as homies walking down the hallway as his energy is leaving with him. And now as you go along through your life, you're going to have more attachments if you stay within your drugs. And so you're going to keep being pulled to negative areas, negative vibrations. And so when you're pulled back in the areas to use this drug, so the drug becomes, it's a demon. So now it's walked into its dark side. Okay, this is a land duality. So even plant medicines have a light side and a dark side. Light side is when it's a healing property, it's honored properly, and in its light, it heals. So, you know, a little bit of poppy tea, if that's what you align with, or if you use it for salve or pain relief or whatnot, it's in its light. It's manageable, it's properly used, and usually, ideally, with a shaman. But if not, then you use it properly. And its negative form, that demon now, it now becomes a demon. It now says, you will serve me. And the heroin demon very much is like, I will make you bow to me because you want to take my medicine. This is my dark side. And in that dark side, it commands that you bow to it, which is why you see a lot of heroin addicts who are, yes, it's degenerative, but it's an indication of how that medicine, how that that demon wants to roll in the hood, and it wants you to bow. Right? Those are the light. It lifts up. Those are dark. It wants you to bow down. It's all about control, ego. But unfortunately, people really aren't aware of the fact that once you take certain medicines, or certain plants and stuff, and if it's in its dark, it's one-time use. You've now signed a binding contract with it. If you're lucky enough to move through it and be free, great. You're one of the few. Those who don't, you just don't resonate naturally with that frequency. But if you do resonate and it's within you, understand you have that frequency within that will instantly, remember, this little like attracts like, law of attraction. So yeah, so right now, but when you're, so it looks like, and then when you're around other areas, other people, you can have more attachments attached to that demon. So, and remember, so as above, so below, and those negative energies, that demon wants your negative, you need your addiction, but it needs negative energy. So, so it keeps you in perpetual suffering, and that's what it wants, because you keep being called back to it. But, yeah, just a little bit, 2 bits, but this case I can feel homie is more than 2 binds on his toe. So like X's and baby mamas, baby papas, haterades, anyone in your community, they can attach these things to you as well with voodoo black magic. But right now I'm talking about homie here. He has 2 binds, but this is really, really intense. He has a big clamp on his ankle. Now, when I feel clamps like that on the, it's like literally like a ball and chain. But this goes beyond your little voodoo magic shit, which is usually around the binding of the toes. Usually exes will attach that shit to your toes, and usually you'll have a voodoo doll around. They'll have one of you around somewhere in the vicinity. Um, Now the clamp goes beyond that. That's a motherfucking high ranking um, dark high priestess or priest, okay, or magician. These guys, these are usually witch doctors, very high ranking. Like this is a clamp that's very generational. Yeah, just trying to assess the energy of it. But and you'll end up like you'll take whatever it wants as long as it stays. And this a little cord cutting it would be a very major ceremony to get rid of that. And I'll help homie for free naturally. Homies in the hood get it for free. And I'll find a way how to get it out to the people when they're able to uh I'll get it out to the people for free somehow. Creator provides, like I said, but I thought one and right now I'm also that's one homie, so another homie on the street I'm helping. So and he's up at class right now, just studying and but I have all this stuff and wash his laundry. I have to get more sage. I put sage into but I also wiped everything down. Lots with heavy sanitizer, heavy. You have to wash it all down. I do better with sage medicines and sage water, but I don't have that on hand right now. But I have to wipe it all down, and then he had a switch. So I had to bust that shit up, and I was like, "Holy, what the fuck is in this?" Because the moment something came out of that and wanted to start doing the same thing, clamping onto me, and it started to dark feelings started going up my hands, and I was like feeling my crown chakra was being activated. I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" Whoa. So whatever, however, whoever he communicated with or on that Nintendo Switch, it became there was something in it. And this is now interesting. This will add to my spiritual investigation. So this is interesting to have an electronic device that has such a heavy demon, like that energy that was in it was saturated his clothes every time he went outside to camp and come back, even though he's out in nature. Maybe I should do more grounding or something. But he come back with the heaviness, and I was like, what the fuck is still on me? I'm like, this is really interesting. Well, it turned out whatever's attached to that Nintendo Switch, it was like very, very densely demonic, but it's very insidious because it attached itself to a video game system. And here's homie trying to get his life together, but whoever put something in that video game system or something, it was very much sent to him. And it's very, very, like, very octopusy. Like, it just wanted to grab on and stay, and then fucks up your life. So I can sense it, and I was like, I was dropping the control. I was like, what the fuck is this? And and then he realized, whoa, bro. I was like, I had to be very clear with him. You got to get rid of this thing. He's like, oh, it's 300 blah. I'm like, yeah. Then I said very clearly, you get rid of this switch here, bro. I can continue helping you. But if you choose to keep this switch here, I have to stop helping you. Period. You want to keep your attachments, that's fine. That's your prerogative. You only get this one. I only say this once. My cutoff game's strong. I've been working with you all week, but I will not pay for your choices to keep a fucking electronic thing just because it's $300 versus your life, your future, due to some motherfucking attachment or sentimental thing versus the rest of your life doing it. No. So very clear. You continue on with you may need to make a decision, young man. And that's just going to be the conduct of your life. But you keep your possessions and stuff like that. That's fine. I release everything creator provides. And it's your lesson too. But this is your journey to make, but once you make that choice, we're not arguing about this. I will say, here's your stuff back, homie G. Be well, love, light, and healing, and then my cat game is done. You made your choice. Homie's like, get rid of it. He goes say smart man. He's gonna go far in life. He'll be a good chief. You could say creator. But yeah, wiped it down. I can still feel attachments, but I'll wash all his clothes and stuff. That main thing is gone. Smashed it up, got rid of it. And but yeah, just some awareness. There's things that you can touch and you can feel. You'll be like, what the fuck? This doesn't feel good. You'll feel it. It's very insidious, very dark. You'll feel negative. Like a parasite, right? Something's off. But anyway, I wanted to share this with you, homie G's, and yeah, just a quick moment here, and have to start helping homies in the hood, and more routine and sound frequency healing with them, counseling stuff, and yeah, I'll be offering a couple outdoor ceremonies, paid ceremonies. um, you'll see my stuff on online. Okay, love, light, and healing. All my relations. Oh, hey,